The kingdom has been talking to the United States about a relationship based on firmer ties between the kingdom and the United States as far as not just security but economic development and other engagement with the United States. And the United States wanting us to have normalization with Israel. The kingdom replied to that publicly has been, if there is a Palestinian state that Israel accepts to come to existence, then we can talk about normalization with Israel. And I remember before October 7th, those talks not only progressed along those lines, but also the kingdom invited a Palestinian delegation to come and talk directly to the Americans about what it is that might bring about a Palestinian state. I'm not privy to those talks, so I don't know what happened between the Palestinians and the Americans. But the kingdom's position has always been, we will not speak for the Palestinians. They have to do it for themselves. And unfortunately, of course, October 7th put an end to those talks. But nonetheless, both sides, the Saudi side and the American side, have publicly expressed that they want the talks to continue. And whether it is on a bilateral basis, US-Saudi linkage and so on, and some sort of agreement on, as I said, security and economic and other issues, but also the establishment of a Palestinian state, and then normalization with, between Israel, not just Saudi Arabia, but the rest of the Islamic world. All the public statements I've seen from Saudi officials indicate that the need for the establishment of a Palestinian state is a primary condition for Saudi Arabia to have normalization with Israel. But also on the Israeli side, the whole government is saying no Palestinian state. So how can there be normalization between us and them with those positions in place? I have not seen yet any effect of either Turkey or Qatar on making Hamas forthcoming on certain issues in the talks. What I read in the papers is that at certain times Hamas have come out and said, yes, we agree to certain things. And then as a result of that, Netanyahu changes the rules of that accord or potential accord. And so Hamas has to take a position of saying, no, I do not accept what the Israelis want. So it's a matter of you know, each side wanting to better the other and using whatever support they get from others. Israel, of course, gets support from the United States and European countries, and Hamas gets support from Turkey, from Iran, and from Qatar. They change their positions. But I have not seen yet that either Turkey or Qatar can, as between quotation marks, deliver Hamas to some agreement. And it's tied to what happens on the other side as well.
Thank you. I'm going to take one online from Mariam Moad, and she's saying, I'm going to paraphrase, I'm sorry. What would Saudi Arabia consider an independent Palestinian state to be?
It is what the Arab Peace Initiative has stated. It's a state on the land of Palestine in the 1967 border of that time, inclusive of Jerusalem and all other parts of that territory, whether in Gaza or in the West Bank. That is not just a Saudi position, but that is a position of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which is the only legitimate representative of the Palestinian people according not only to its constitution, but also according to Hamas declaring that the PLO speaks for the Palestinians. So it is not a uniquely Saudi position, but it is an Arab, and I think it is a world position as well.